Hi. So, as a summary, motivation is the internal and external factors that explain how and why you act. Um, so, for me, um, getting good grades is an extrinsic motivator. Um, Growing up with an elementary school teacher as a mom, um, education was really stressed in when I was a child, so I grew up working hard, getting good grades, um, and that just became a normal part of my life for me. Um, so it was something to strive for, and pretty much explains why I do my homework now. um, so um, growing up that way, I liked doing homework also because I always liked the challenge and trying something new and doing puzzles or trying to solve problems was always fun for me. Um, which, I mean, I love to like just work through problems and challenge myself to become better at whatever I'm working on. Um, so I love to organize things and um, systematically work through problems. Um, and so trying something new was always fun for me. Um, in fact, um, taking college classes right now is really fun for me because um, in high school I wasn't getting that challenge that I needed. So being able to take these college classes this year was kind of stressful at first because I didn't know what I was getting into. I just kind of knew it was the next step, but I didn't really know um, how much work or anything like that. So, but once I got into the system of knowing what to do and that kind of thing, I was really able to enjoy myself while I was working because I knew it was going to help me as a person. Um, so, I know most people might think I'm crazy for it, but um, I was telling my mom about this the other night that I needed the challenge and that high school was just getting too easy for me. I mean, I still have to do hard work, but not at the level of not at the college level, which is um, the challenge that I needed. So I don't know if this would be an intrinsic or extrinsic motivator, but my religion definitely influences most of my actions and behaviors. I grew up in a Christian family, so my um, beliefs started young, and then, or my found, I've had a faith foundation from when I was very young. So, building off of that when I was older was not as hard for me. So, um, it dictates a lot about what I say, how I act, the friends I choose. I try to pick a lot of Christian friends that share the same beliefs that I do. And um, we love hanging out and that kind of stuff. So those are just that's just definitely a motivator for me. Is I um, enjoy hanging out with people who share the same beliefs as me. So, um, however, motivation is something that I've struggled with for most of my life. So I've always been good at school. Growing up with a teacher, I was always pushed to learn, get good grades, work hard. But my technique for getting work done is not the best, I guess you could say. Um, and probably wouldn't work for most people. I know a lot of my friends have always been like, how do you talk all day at school and then somehow have all of your work done when it's due? And so I'm just kind of like, well, I don't know exactly. Somehow I'm able to plan my schedule so that I have enough time to know when I need to work and when I need to get it done. So I plan it out so that I have like, if I have like a week to do a project, I'll plan it out for like a little part each day. And then somehow that just completely goes away and I end up doing it the night before. So, which, I mean, all the teachers are like, oh, you shouldn't do it the night before. And I try not to, but it ends up that way anyway. So, but I turn in my work on time, so they don't really complain to me about it. So something that's always interested me from when I was in elementary school was how people find the motivation to like turn in assignments early or turn them in late, or just why they never turn them in at all. So for me, I understand like why you would turn them in on time, but getting assignments done early was hard for me to understand because I understood the extrinsic reward of turning it in on time, of getting good grades, but there's not really one for finishing the assignments early. So that would have to be more of an intrinsic motivator of knowing that you got your work done and feeling accomplished, or knowing you worked hard on it. I also never understood why people turned in their assignments late, because for me, it was, I mean, they're not getting any reward for it. I mean, if they were going to do it anyway, why not just turn it in on time and get the full reward rather than turning it in later and getting only part of the reward? But I mean, everyone's motivated by different things, so I don't. I've always been curious to watch that. And then for me, I get very stressed out if I forget about an assignment or I don't turn something in. So I don't know how people sleep at night when they don't turn in their work. So that's just something that's always fascinated me from when I was really young. So the strive to try and understand motivation is something that will help me in any career I choose, whether I decide to become a psychologist or not, and will pretty much constantly affect my personal and professional life forever. I also thought it was interesting that it not only affects me, but also those around me. So learning to motivate myself and learning how others are motivated can help me be more successful no matter what career I choose. So I've always been one to learn. I like to learn. I'm constantly reading. There's just so many books out there that I haven't read yet, and my mom tells everyone who doesn't know me, oh yeah, she's got books stacked up in her room, and I'm like, yes, why aren't we home so I can read them now? But somehow from them I learn more about people, and so through them I learn more about motivation and what motivates others so that I can help others be more successful in whatever they choose to do, because that's a big part of what I like to do, is to help people. So in conclusion, motivation will impact me through the rest of my life. And learning about it now will help me succeed in whatever I decide to do.